You gonna push record?
Yep, got it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Super excited for this call tonight. Rebecca and I have been planning this agenda for a couple weeks now, and we've been really excited about the content and really super excited about this webinar tonight. So I'm going to start out and talk about the power of thirds and kind of the things to do daily that are really important in this business. But first, I wanted to just introduce myself. I am Kirsty Clark, and I have been a coach for about 2.5 years now. And I joined as a coach because my husband had an amazing physical transformation. And as I watched him change, I realized how much changed inside our home as well. And just when he became healthier, he became a happier person. We became a closer couple. He became a better father because he was more active. And I just saw all these things change, and I became happier. And so I just feel like we got something that we had been praying for so many years, and I needed to share that with others, that I really had this obligation to pay it forward and pass it on and share this amazing gift with other people. So that's why I became a coach, and I'm still very excited. I have a lot of fire within me. And anyway, I hope our tips are helpful. And then Becca is going to introduce herself.
Yeah, my name's Rebecca, and I have been a coach for 8 months, and I have been doing Beachbody workouts for years, but I didn't even know they were related. I didn't even know they were all Beachbody workouts, like Slim and Six and Hip Hop Abs from my parents and things like that. But I decided to become a coach because I knew that I would quit if I didn't, or I wouldn't stick with it. So I kind of was like, well, if I'm coaching, then at least I'll be responsible for, showing up in challenge groups and helping other people. And it worked, and I had an awesome transformation, and I got really addicted to my own transformation, but also more than that was just seeing everyone else, how it affected them. And it was like so addicting. And then of course the income and things like that came too later, but that's initially why I started. So yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that Rebecca and I found each other too. We have really similar goals, and we're kind of dealing with the same obstacles right now too. And so she's been a really great success partner for me, and she's really helped to push me. So anyway, thanks for joining me. This is awesome. All right, cool. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started then with the power of threes, and then Rebecca's going to talk about consistency and how doing these things over time will make a big difference. So I'm going to share my screen to show you this worksheet. And I don't know if you can still see me or not. Can you see me?
Just, yeah, on the right, okay, we can see.
So I won't make like weird faces. But it has kind of replaced my business activity tracker, because I personally look at a spreadsheet and I like go cross-eyed and want to throw up. So I like this layout better because it's prettier and it's just easier for me to see that it's important daily tasks rather than just a spreadsheet. You can treat this like a worksheet where you print it out and handwrite your names on there, or Rob turned this into an editable PDF for us. Don't eat it. So thank you, Rob. So I'll be sharing it in, I think, an Excel form and the PDF form in our group so that you have this. You can type right into this if you want to. And you just like, Katie Ketter. You can write the names in there as you go, or you can print it off. Oh, and then you can save it and then keep re-saving it every week. Or you can print off 52 of them and have it ready for the whole year and 3-hole punch them, keep it in a binder. I have realized that keeping track of things is so important. It's something that I really didn't do my first year that I wish I did. So basically this helps you so that when you sit down and get on Facebook and get on your computer, you don't get distracted by all those notifications popping up and messages and your news feed. It's like, it can drive you crazy. These are things to do every day so you don't get distracted. You can work smarter, not harder, and really have good time management. So the first one is add to your network. And it's really important that you're adding 3 names to your network every day so that you're building your audience. And, you know, if you've been on Facebook for years, then this is going to be a little bit harder than if you're brand new to Facebook. But building your network could also be adding people to your email list. It can be adding people to your Instagram network. And basically, I find new people by forcing myself to kind of come out of my shell. So I'll try to meet new moms when I pick up my kids from school, and I sign up to be a soccer mom, and I have joined different Facebook groups also that are interests that I have. Like, I'm in a homeschooling group, I'm in a holistic group, I'm in a couple of groups like a buy and sell trade yard sale type groups. And so when I connect with people on those groups, then I add them as a friend as well. And so I've built my network that way as well. And then when you add someone to your network, it's important not to just hit add friend and walk away and your work is done, but to reach out to them, either send them a message and say, hey, I'm so glad I found you here, how's life? Or go onto their timeline and start commenting on a picture or two so that they know that you're there. And when you comment on their stuff, you're going to show up in their feed as well. So number 2 would be start conversations. And this is my favorite part by far. Just talking to people and asking them questions and finding out how they're doing and what they love about life and what they need help with. Starting conversations is really fun for me. And we've talked about the 4 methods. You can kind of start out with your family, and it's important to be asking them questions along the way so that they want to reply back to you and you actually have a conversation going. It's important to really be interested in them and not just like sound interesting. That's really important too, is to just make sure that they know that you really do care about them. And you can either do the names that you've added to your network that day or the week before, or grab someone on your list of 100 names that you feel like would benefit from a healthier lifestyle or some more support, or you would love to have on your dream team. Those are the kinds of people that you should be starting your conversations with. And then the next one is invites. And this one honestly can be kind of scary. But I try to have the mindset that I'm offering them something that can really help them and change them, rather than something that's going to benefit me money-wise or give me Success Club points. Like, really understand that we are sharing something that can change someone's life and help them live better and happier, and that we have a gift that we can share to people. So for me, my invites kind of go in waves. And when I'm starting a new challenge group, like a 21-day, or if I'm doing my free 7-day holiday group or something, I will do more than just 3 invites in one day. But I'll just fill up all those slots maybe in the next day or something. And I'll do a lot of invites the week before that. And then if I'm knee deep in my challenge group and not even thinking about my next one yet, I'll fill those spots with people that I'm just communicating with. So you're still putting names down there so that you always have people to follow up with. Or maybe you just want to write down names that you want to invite to your next group. That's okay too. Just kind of highlight them so that you can keep track of it all. And then be building relationships with them at that time, even if you're not ready for a formal invite. And I always tell my team that inviting doesn't necessarily mean a formal invite to join your group. It can also be inviting someone to the park with you so you're getting to know them on a personal level, and invite them to work out with you. That's another big one that I've been able to grow my network with, is just inviting my local friends to work out, because it's non-threatening and it's just like, come work out with me because I need someone to work out with, and it's more fun that way. And then the next one is Facebook posts, and that's pretty basic, but at the same time, it can be mistakenly missed, I guess. It's something that sometimes we think, and when we get busy, we don't have time to be on Facebook, so we're not posting for a couple of days, and that's really doing yourself a disservice. So make sure that you're posting at least 3 times a day. Only at least 1 or less needs to be about Beachbody or fitness or health. I think every 5 posts at the most. You know, you don't want to go more than 5 posts without talking about something health-wise. But think about the other areas that in life that are important to you. Like for me, it's decorating and holidays and family and crafting, and living healthy. And you can kind of be sneaky about these things too. Like the other day, I don't know if you saw my post about the spaghetti squash, but I was trying to cut through it and having some troubles, and it was my first time. And so I just asked a little question like, how do you make your spaghetti squash? How do you like yours? And how the heck do you cut through this thing? I got so much interaction on that. And even if like I don't really take their advice, or even if we're not really personally connecting, they're seeing that I'm trying to be healthy and they're interacting. And that's really important too, is to have some fun things on your page that people are interacting with. So in those slots, you'll just kind of write the topic of what your post is, like 21-day fix salad or spaghetti squash or boys at school or whatever. And then follow up is so important, and that's basically why we're writing everything down, is so that we can follow up with them the following week and keep track of all the people that have said no or not right now, so you know when to follow up with them again. If they just basically said no and stopped bugging me, which has never happened to me before, but if that happens, then literally take a Sharpie and cross their name off. But usually their no is just, I can't right now. I'm not quite ready yet. So keep them on your paper and just highlight them and just write a little note down like maybe in December, or check for the next free group or something like that, so you know when to follow up with them and when they might be ready. And then when you are following up with the people from your last week or last month or whatever, as you're starting to do these worksheets every week, just a quick little follow-up message could be, hey, I'm filling spots for my challenge groups, and I just wanted to check on you and see if you wanted me to save you a spot. That's really non-threatening. It's really a kind note, I think, to just say, you know, do you want me to hold you a spot? Yes or no, no big deal. I've also said something like, don't confuse my enthusiasm for pressure. I'm just really excited. Let me know if you're ready right now, and if you're not, that's okay too.
I like that.
What's that?
I like that.
Yeah, I heard that on a national wake-up call one time, and I was like, I need to write that down word for word, because I get excited, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then present business opportunity weekly. I have 3 spots on there, but if you want to grow your team faster, you might want to change that to 5. I don't know why I said 4, but add a 4 and a 5. And this is not like a message that says, I really want you to join my team. Please, I think you'd be awesome. Please join my team. Don't do that. That's not, no one wants to hear that. But on the other hand, know that being recruited is a really good thing. Like, think about kids going into college. If they're being recruited to 5 teams, they're not going to be offended and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you asked me to be on your team. This is a compliment, and help them realize that you are talking to them about the coaching opportunity because you think that they would be a great coach, and explain to them why. And then there's other ways that we can kind of share the opportunity with them. It could be with a sneak peek, you know, backstage pass group. It can be, you can send them, I love the Success from Home magazines. I don't know if you guys all know about those, but those are really fun to look through. They have great success stories from coaches and trainers. And so that's something that I like to send people. If I'm going to send someone a sample of Shakeology, and I also think they'd be a great coach, I just stick one of those magazines in there too and write them a little note about why I sent that to them. And then also my team just created a What is Coaching webinar, which has been a really great resource for me to send to someone who wants more information. And we basically just go over all the information about what a coach is and what a coach isn't, and talk about Success Club and all the ways that coaching has blessed our lives, and sharing our story. And I think that's a really great way, when we can't get face-to-face with people, to send them a webinar where they can see our faces and feel our excitement. And so that's been really helpful. And then the business non-negotiables, there are daily things that we know we need to do every day. So there's kind of a way you can tally mark or you can check it or whatever. Weekly things like the National Wake Up Call and check-ins with your coaches and your customers. Success Club, adding one new coach a month at least. You could change it to 2 or 3 depending on how fast you want to grow. And then that you're inviting into your groups. And I push or try to do a challenge pack every week. I think that's a good pace for me. So you could add a challenge pack on there to check off. And then just kind of wanted to help you understand that when we write in 3 names for every category, even if it's just 5 days a week, so if you're just doing Monday through Friday, 3 names in each category, that's 15 names per day, per week that you have, that you're connecting with, that you're talking to. And depending on if you want to work your business on Saturdays or Sundays, that's totally your choice. I personally have had really great luck with doing follow-ups on Saturday mornings because my market are moms, and us stay-at-home moms, on Saturday morning we finally have a chance to sit down at the computer because our husbands are home. And our working moms finally, like, I feel like Saturday mornings, they are more relaxed. They have time to sit down at the computer and respond. So following up on Saturdays is a really big day for me. So I don't always send out messages and start conversations and make sure I'm adding names on Saturdays, but I do follow-ups and connect with the people that I need to. So I'm about done, but the last thing I wanted to talk about was just this question that you can kind of think about when you're talking to people, is to ask them or just wonder, when was the last time someone helped you with fitness goals? And have that mindset and really understand that when you're talking to someone about their goals, you're here to help them, and it is more than just a name on a list. That you're here to help them because you love people and you love seeing change and you have a passion and you know that this business makes our lives better and you want to share that goodness with other people. So just, if you have to remind yourself that constantly so you don't feel like you're selling, that this is about sharing, just remind yourself as many times as you need to. This is something that brings joy to my life. And so I want to share it with other people because I want to share that joy with other people. So I have that on the top of my worksheet so that I'm always reminded that I'm doing this to help other people. So I think that's about it. And we can have, if you guys have any questions about that or about what Rebecca is going to talk about, hopefully we'll have time at the end. But Rebecca, let me take off screen share. And then you can totally take it over.
Yeah. I love that at the top of your list, you have that quote, consistency over time delivers results. Just because I think these 2 topics go hand in hand. Because the key really is consistency. Doing those things every single day is what's going to get success for us. So I do want to talk about, can you guys hear me and see me? Mm-hmm. Okay. I do want to point out, I heard this analogy about coaching or anything you do in life that is tough and it requires time and it requires consistency. And it was an analogy of pushing a carousel. And that is like, when I think about pushing a carousel, like one that you see at Six Flags or something, I'm like, I don't even think one person can push a carousel. I think that's like so heavy. But if you imagine kind of pushing a carousel at the beginning, if it's just you and you're pushing it, you got both hands and you're just trying and it's so hard to push. And you just keep going and you keep pushing, but it's still for a long time. And related to coaching, months, a couple of months at least, it's going to be extremely tough to push and it's going to go really slow. But eventually it starts to build momentum. And as you keep showing up for your business and as you just keep doing, you're not doing anything different. You're not adding more time. You're not you're growing as a person and you're showing up, but you're just keep doing those same things. Like Kirsty pointed out in that list, you're just doing those same things every single day. And as you continue to push and you continue to do that, eventually the pendulum kind of shifts, and it starts to gain momentum. And that's when it starts to move a little easier, just a little easier at first. And I wanted to point that out because I think looking at a list like that sometimes, especially for newer coaches who might be watching this, even things like posting on Facebook every day. When I first became a coach and I learned that one of the keys to success was posting on Facebook 2 to 3 times a day or 4 times a day, I was like, how am I going to do this? I don't even post twice a week at that point. So that was like mind-boggling to me. And it was really hard for like the first month to come up with things to get over my own fear or insecurity, or just like, am I going to come off narcissistic? But doing it every single day, any of those things, when we do them consistently, they get easier and easier and easier, and less time and less thought goes. I mean, it just becomes second nature. And so I just wanted to kind of encourage you with that consistency not only builds momentum in your business, but it also takes less time. Like, you're going to be doing things with more ease. So for example, adding people to your network, now it takes me seconds to add people to my network. Like, I'm just so fast at it. I know where to go. I know what to do. You just kind of get the hang of things, and it really does become easier. So I just wanted to point that out. And then, so with the carousel, with my analogy, just kind of finishing that, as you keep pushing, it eventually starts to gain momentum, and you might add a coach, eventually. So now you got 4 hands pushing. You might add another coach, so you got 6 hands. Eventually you're kind of running with the carousel, and you're kind of trying to catch up with it. And it just gets a little bit easier, and it's really, it kind of gets more fun, because you're not having to push or strain as hard, but you're still seeing those results. And so I just want to encourage you that comes, and that is around the corner. Also, with consistency, there's still sometimes some dips in coaching. So, but instead of like life is like a roller coaster, it's more like an upward roller coaster. So your highest high, then you take a dip and it sucks and it's horrible. But then your next peak is higher than your last peak, and your next dip is higher than your last dip. So I just want to point that out too. And that's with consistency. That's with that line of consistency going. So your roller coaster keeps going up. Couple other things. I love this quote. I use it all the time. There's variations of this quote. Tony Robbins has a variation of it, but this is the one that I hear a lot. And it's, what you do every day. Okay, guys, we got 10 minutes, so I'm going to hurry. What you do every day, every single day, matters much more than what you do every once in a while. So what you do every day matters more than you do every once in a while. So, posting, all those things Kirsty talked about, even if it's like, I only have 30 minutes to commit to coaching, I'd rather you spend 30 minutes a day than 3 hours a week all on a Saturday morning. So what you do every day matters much more than what you do every once in a while. And the other thing I want to say is that consistency, okay, not only is it great for, growing our business and building momentum, the reason that consistency is so important with people is because in our society right now, in America and where we live, everybody quits. People leave. Like, we have trust issues. We really do, because we don't know who's going to be in it for the long haul. I mean, you can just look at statistics in marriage, in even pastors. Like, I'm a pastor's wife, and like, there's just all kinds of things that it's just like, nobody trusts people anymore. We're scared human beings. And the thing with consistency that it brings as a coach is it helps people trust you and realize you're going to be here for the long haul. You're not just in this MLM. I have so many friends that have tried MLM companies and they're gone in 2 months, and you're like, oh, I guess I got to find somebody else to order my nails through or whatever. So with coaching, by showing up every day, by posting, it seems so menial, or it seems so silly. Like, I have to post. I have to stay consistent. But you're showing people that you're here. You're reminding them that you're there for them, that you're going to be there for the long haul. You're going to be here a year from now when they're struggling and they've put on weight or they're sad or whatever. So I just want to really emphasize that. Consistency equals trust with people in their minds. It also, what consistency does is it actually magnifies the amount of time you've been around, because I've had a lot of people who think that I've been coaching for like 2 years because of how much they see me post, or, just how consistent I've been in the 8 months that I've been a coach. People are like, yeah, I've been following you for like 1.5 years. And I'm like, really? I've only been a coach for 8 months. But it's cool because if you've ever gone to college and lived in a college dorm, or you've ever been in the military, you know that when you're in close quarters with someone and you're spending a lot of time with them, you feel like you've known them forever. And that's the same with social media. If you're, if I'm showing people my lives 3 times a day and giving them a glimpse for 6 months, for a good chunk of time, it feels like it's been 1 year or 2 years or 3. So just kind of encouraging you guys with that. Show up for your people. And instead of viewing consistency as narcissistic, like I said, or kind of weird, view it as if you don't do it, it's a disservice for those people, because by showing up, like I said, it's trust, it's building a relationship, and people they want something to hang on to. They want to see your motivation, and they want to see your quotes and your recipes, and your making them laugh and making them cry and relating to them. So by adding value to people with consistency, and not just daily consistency, but monthly consistency. People, like I've found since I started doing monthly challenge groups and monthly free groups, they love knowing that if they missed out or life got in the way, they have next month. That they're like, oh, when are you doing? Oh, you're doing another one next month. I didn't miss it and everything's horrible. It's that same concept that I'm consistent monthly. So they feel safe, and it's really great. Okay, I'm going to really go fast here. Okay, I just want to say a couple examples so that we can get to questions. I've had people of how consistency pays off. I've had people in my very first 7-day clean eating. They were in my 7-day clean eating, and they never bought a challenge pack. They never did anything. And now 8 months later, I just had somebody from my first 7-day clean eating finally, like, she wants to coach and all this stuff. So I just want to show you that consistency pays off. I've also had people who I didn't even know were watching me, people who weren't even liking my posts, let alone commenting, let alone anything, joining my groups, nothing. And they've been watching me. People are watching you. If you show up and you're consistent every day, and you're consistent every week, and you're consistent every month, they're taking notice. So don't think that because nobody's liking or nobody's commenting that they're not there. And the more you're consistent, the more they're going to see it. So I just want to say that. And I've had people that have reached out to me and messaged me and said, you're so, thank you so much for posting this, or I've been watching you. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize we were friends, or like, I didn't even, anyway. So I just wanted to say that. And then, I think that's it, because now I got into my notes with what Kirsty said. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all I have on consistency, but just consistency over time equals success. So please, don't think that, if you haven't had success in a month or 2 months, that you're just a failure at this. It's being consistent and actually going back to those things that Kirsty said and doing them every day and every week and every month. So I think we can open up for questions for we have 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So ask some good questions, because this is a recorded call. So we want to be able to, share more value with people who are going to watch this later. So ask some questions. Carrie, Rob, Sandy, Tasha.
I had one, and it's one that I always know. I don't know where the best place to post things, like either in my group or on my regular Facebook page. What would be the best? I never know which one to post to get the best audience.
Yeah, I think it's important that you're doing both. I think our challenge groups need daily posts, and sometimes I duplicate what I'm posting in my group on my page as well, just depending on what I've been doing. And I like to alternate between food, workout, my progress, and adding value with maybe some kind of a motivational, inspirational message. So I kind of try to do all those 4 areas and rotate through, so it's not like a broken record.
Right.
Yeah, but both for sure.
Do you mean a challenge group or like a fitness page, or what do you?
Yeah, like a challenge group, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, because I guess you want both audience. You want people who aren't in your challenge group to see some of the things you have to post too. I'm always weird about if I should do 2 posts, 1 in each, but I think that's over because they see the same thing. If they're friends with me, they see it anyway, right?
Yeah, and it's okay for people to see it twice. The other thing you could do is do 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. Like maybe in your challenge group in the morning, and then in the evening do it on your personal page, and then maybe your challengers are seeing it in the evening instead anyway. And then it's not like you're copy paste all the time. Or you can adjust it a little bit, you know, to be, maybe you ask a question in your group like, what workout did you do today? But then on your timeline say, I'm making progress, this is awesome, or something, you know.
Yeah, okay.
I had a question for Kirsty. With that PDF, so Rob, you made that?
Yeah.
Awesome. I really liked it. I was going to ask, I forgot, the Facebook posts. So do you guys, when you write down is it an afterthought? Like, okay, I posted today, this is what I posted about, so that you know tomorrow, don't do a recipe because I did it yesterday. Or do you guys plan them out ahead of time?
I do a little of both. Usually I'll just write down what I did to make sure I did 3. But then sometimes I'll be like, on Wednesday, I wanted to post about my challenge group that starts on Monday or something. So sometimes I'll plan ahead, and sometimes I will just write it down to make sure that I'm getting it done. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll share that in our group too. I think we just have a link, right, that goes to that. Rob's awesome with technology. I'm not. So thank you.
I just have the tools to do it.
That's great. Super helpful. Cool.
Any other questions?
Can I just add one thing? Were we getting a question?
Yeah, I was just gonna, did you say you're gonna like send us that Excel sheet?
Yeah.
That spreadsheet?
Yep, I'll post that in. Yeah.
Okay.
So just going on that consistency, sometimes there is a delay. A lot of times what you're doing today and this week might not even show up for another month. Sometimes it takes 3 months to see the results of your efforts that are going on right now. So stay consistent, keep on going, because it does happen and you will see results. It's just not always that day or that week or that month even sometimes too. So it's an interesting business, that's for sure. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I think we'll end any second.